Well, if you're still on the fence on whether or not to head to the polls today, hopefully we can help calm some of your fears this morning. Phil McGrane with Ada County Elections is joining us this morning to clear up any confusion that you might have before people cast their votes. And good morning, Phil. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning to you both.
And let's go ahead and start with that confusion. What could people be confused about, and what do you want to get out there?
I think the first thing, there's been a lot of changes. This is the first year after redistricting, the very first election, so legislative districts have changed, congressional districts have changed, and really important in Ada and Canyon counties, the precincts have changed in many cases. So where you vote may be new, and so the really important thing is find out and make sure you go to the right place this election day.
All right, and of course also talk now of declaring a party, a closed primary. Should people be worried about that? That's the thing that a lot of people keep bringing up as maybe something that they feel negatively about in these primaries. Should they be worried about that?
You're right, Spencer. This is a really big change. Not only do we have redistricting, but we have the first Republican closed primary. So this time there will be some questions that will be asked. You need to be prepared when you show up. First is we're still dealing with the voter ID law, right? So people need to bring their ID when they show up to vote, but once they're there, they'll have some decisions they'll have to make. The most important being they'll have to affiliate with a party for the first time. So pick one of the parties, come in, or remain unaffiliated, either way. But once they make that decision, that'll impact what ballot they can receive. The Republicans are only allowing affiliated Republicans to participate in their primary. So this election, depending how you make that decision, will determine what ballots. Anyone else, including Republicans, can choose the Democrat ballot or the nonpartisan ballot.
All right, and at least for Ada County elections, what has voter turnout been in the past, and with all those changes this year, can we expect that same type of turnout? What have you seen so far?
That's the really interesting question this election, is to determine what turnout will be. Historically, we're around 21 to 23%. Statewide, they're up to about 25%. This election, it's really uncertain. Will turnout be depressed, or will it actually increase as a result of the closed primary? Right now, in terms of early voting numbers, we're right on track. We're up slightly than we've been past for early voting, and so if that's any indication, we're about where we should be.
So it may not make a huge difference, even though there is a lot of talk about the closed Republican primary and all those sorts of things. And another question in that vein, people talking about, declaring a party, their affiliation with a party, I should say, in November. Is that going to have any change on what they can vote, who they can vote for coming up in November?
In November, it won't. This is only for the primary election, where the parties are selecting their nominees for the general election. In the general election, anyone can vote for the candidate of their choice, regardless of party affiliation. Everyone will have everyone on the ballot. So really, this only impacts this specific election.
And polls open 8 a.m. today?
8 to 8 p.m. That's correct. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
And that's statewide, not just Ada County.
That's correct. That's statewide. So make sure you find out where to vote. You can do that at adaCountyElections.com. And then make sure to get to your polling place before 8 p.m. tonight.
All right, good information there. Again, if you don't know where to vote, at least for Ada County, adaCountyElections.com, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. across the state to vote today. Thank you so much, Phil, for joining us this morning.